G'day fellas, how you going? Welcome back to the next video in the series that I'm making right now on how to enter a cosplay competition and get the best possible results from it. Okay, now in this video, what we're going to be looking at is how to record the audio for your cosplay skit. Now, arguably, apart from the actual costume that you make itself, the audio is going to be the most important part of your performance, okay? The audio is what is going to be creating the setting. It's going to be setting the mood between two characters. It's what's really going to help bring out the feeling and the emotion of the skits that you want to convey to your audience, okay? Now, you don't need super fancy gear, you don't need to be a sound engineer, and you do not need to be a professional voice actor to create a really effective, cool skit on stage, okay? Again, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process how to efficiently and effectively record a really good skit using, honestly, not too much gear that you can just do in the comfort of your own home, okay? Sound good? Let's go. Okay, first thing, let's talk gear. What do you actually need to record a skit? So, number one, you need a very simple program which is free. You can download online called Audacity, okay? Audacity is a free sound recording, sound editing kind of program. It's very basic, very easy to use, and the best part about it, like I said, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to use. So, it's the program that I recommend the most in recording your skit. Okay, if you've got something else or another sound program that you like to use, if you're actually a sound engineer, do what you like. But if you want a very simple method of recording a very good skit, Audacity is all you're going to need. As for equipment, you'll just need one very good microphone, okay? Just get something as simple, just like this, a Blue Yeti microphone. It's a cardioid condenser microphone. Don't worry about the big words, but it's basically a microphone that's able to capture a lot of sound from anywhere, and the Blue Yeti is quite famous because it's damn good. It's something you quite simply just need to plug into your PC with a USB, and the sound quality that you get from it is really good, okay? You can use a professional recording mic if you've got one. You can use an instrumental mic if you've got one. Go for it, but at the very least, get yourself a decent microphone. Do not use something like a headset microphone. These are terrible for recording your skit, okay? So if you can get your hands on a microphone, you know, a Blue Yeti is what I'd recommend, but you can use whatever you've got available to you. Just do not use a headset microphone from a gaming headset, okay? It's the worst thing that you can use to record your skit, okay? So that's all you need. You just need Audacity and a good microphone. Okay, the second thing you need to do in recording your skit is to get everything set up and test it. I'll actually show you how to use Audacity in the next video. I'm going to get that video done very soon, and when it's done, I'll put it right here. But what you want to do is just figure out how to plug in your microphone and get it working. It should be as simple as quite simply plugging it into the PC, and it should be ready to go. That's the beauty of using a Blue Yeti anyway. But just be sure that when you do load up Audacity, you're able to find the Blue Yeti, you're able to find your microphone in the program, because that's what you're going to be using to program it, okay? Ideally, you'd want a carpeted area to set up your computer. You've only got tiles available. Try and find somewhere with carpet, with curtains, something where the sound's not going to bounce around the room. It'll bounce off hard surfaces, so ideally, a carpeted area is very good, and in a place where there's not going to be much noise. So maybe it's going to be your bedroom, maybe it's going to be the living room, maybe a quiet spot somewhere at home, but just make sure that there's not too much noise going on around you when you're preparing to record your skit, okay? Okay, the third thing that you need to do before you start recording your skit is warm up, okay? There's nothing worse than trying to jump into a recording studio or just in front of a microphone where you're feeling nervous, you're feeling jittery, you don't want to make any noise, you don't want to be too loud in front of the microphone, you want to try and shake all of that off. Whether it be you go out with your cosplay partner when you're recording, and you go out and have a nice meal together, maybe you sing some songs together, do some karaoke, maybe just play a board game and just have a good time. Just enjoy some time with your friend before you get in front of the microphone, okay? The last thing I said that you need to do is get really stifled, that you're too nervous to speak up, okay? A really good idea is to get your script, which should be finished. Your script should be written out by now, and you just practice. You just go through the scripts together like you're acting on stage already. So you read out the voice lines to each other, and you kind of get in the mood. You get in the mood. You get into character, and you start to learn your voice lines really, really well. Okay? Now, you don't have to memorize your lines, but just get a good grasp of how the voice lines are going to go, the feeling that you want to put into each line, and also try and time your skit. How long is it going to be? By this stage, if your skit's too long, it doesn't matter. If it's more than the 3 minutes, it's better to be too long than too short, because it means that you can cut down lines later. But for now, record all of the lines, okay? Just prepare to record all of the lines that you've written out in your script, and we can cut that down later, okay? But the third step, warm up. Get comfortable being next to the microphone, get comfortable talking in front of your friends, in front of your cosplay partner, and just get ready to laugh and have a good time, because it should be a lot of fun. Recording the voice lines for a skit is a lot of fun. So the fourth part of getting the audio for your skit ready is to actually record the voice lines, okay? So you've got all the equipment, it's all tested, you and your friend are all warmed up, you're ready to go, you're ready to record your voice lines. The best thing that you can do is quite literally just talk into the microphone without holding anything back. The most common mistake that I see in a lot of skits are people are afraid to make noise, okay? Don't be afraid. This is your moment to shine. This is your moment to talk into the microphone and really bring your character to life, okay? You know, you don't need the perfect setup. You don't need all fancy equipment. You just need one microphone and a quiet room with some carpet in it, okay? You don't need to, you know, be a professional voice actor. You don't need to think, oh, maybe I should get someone who's done speech and drama before to do my lines for me. Like, you can, but this is your skit. This is your character. And I really, I highly encourage you to do your own voice lines and have a good time with it, okay? Like I said, the worst thing that you can do is be very timid, be afraid to talk into the microphone. You don't need to go all the way up to the microphone and talk like this in a really quiet voice. Ideally, you want to be in just your normal speaking tone, maybe even a little bit louder, but you really want to talk into the microphone. You really want to put that presence in your voice. You really want to project it out there, okay? Don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to make noise when you're recording your voice lines, okay? Little tip. There's going to be times in which there's going to be some yelling, there's going to be some shouting. So when you do the yelling or the shouting, you know, figure out what's a good distance from the microphone. I'll show you how to edit this later too. But when you yell, I'm going to yell now, okay? Just get ready. Actually yell into the microphone so it can be heard. There's nothing worse than going up on stage, having a skit where the yell is like, ah! It's like a muffled scream. If you want to yell, ah! It should actually be a yell. Put your body, put your spirit into the voice line. Don't be afraid to make noise. Step number 5. There's going to be parts in your skit, I can almost guarantee, where there's going to be some grunting, just little noises that you'd make. For example, when you're running, when you're exercising, when you're, you know, putting in any kind of effort, your body will naturally make noise because it's exerting extra force to put extra energy into whatever you're doing, okay? Whether it be, you know, you're hitting a tennis ball with a tennis racket, or you're throwing a ball really far, or you're sprinting really fast across the field, whatever it might be, naturally, these grunts, these extra noises that your body makes will come out. Especially in a cosplay skit where there's a fight scene, where you're racing to get from one side of the stage to the other, where you're about to burst into tears. Whatever the noises are, feel free to make a completely separate recording of these, okay? There might be a whole minute of you pretending to throw a ball, and by the end of it, you just want to pick one of those grunts which sounds the best for your skit, okay? So the fifth part, or my fifth kind of suggestion to you, is if there's any kind of grunt, any kind of yell, any kind of, you know, noise that you'd make that isn't exactly a voice line, feel free to record those separately, all in a row, and you can just pick the best one from the recording that you do. And the sixth part of how to record audio for your skit is how should you actually record it? Should you record it one person at a time, all of one person's lines, and then all of the second person's lines? Should you record one line at a time? Start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Or should you just record everything at once? The answer is quite simply whatever works best for you, whatever you feel is going to give you the best results, okay? I've done bits of both, and they both work fine, but for me personally, what I like to do the best is to have both people in front of the microphone, and you take your turns doing your line. You take turns doing your lines all in one shot, okay? It doesn't have to be the exact pacing. You don't need to, say the skit is 3 minutes in length exactly. You don't need to rush to get the voice lines done. You can have one person who's quite simply, they say their line, and then the next person says their line. Because when it does get to the editing stage, you will be able to kind of chop out those pauses and make it a lot more succinct, a lot more flowy, a lot more rapid, okay? So, but kind of doing the whole skit in one shot, one person after the other, in turn, it'll kind of help to create the feeling that there's actually two characters in the room and there's a conversation going back and forth. And that's kind of what you want to keep in a skit, kind of make it seem real, make it seem like there is something going on in this scene, because you really want to immerse the audience, okay? So the answer to, how should you record the skit, in what order, who should go first, you do whatever's most comfortable for you, okay? But like I said, for me, what worked best was having one recording of two people kind of going back and forth, and we did several takes. And that's it. That's how you record a skit. You just need some basic equipment. You just need to test everything. You need to get warmed up. You need to do the voice lines. You need to actually yell when you need to yell. Record all those grunts and yells and screams separately so you can put them in later. And finally, record it however you feel is best for you and your partner, whatever works best. And you can take as many goes as you like at it. That's the beauty of doing it in the comfort of your own home. You can take as long as you want. You can, take as many takes as you like, and you can just put together the best recording that you're really happy with. Now, in the next video, I'm actually going to do a very basic tutorial of how to use Audacity, okay? Remember, Audacity is the free audio recording program that you can download from the internet, and I'm going to show you very basically how to use it. It's a very simple tool to use, but you'll get the hang of it very quickly, and once you do, you'll be able to edit the audio for your skits however you like, okay? So that video is going to be right here. Check it out.